Welcome, everybody. We are doing season 5 of Indie Reads Aloud. I am your host, Diana Catherine Penn, and today on the program, we have a new to me author all the way from Delaware, and I'm so excited to learn more about her and her story and share it with you. Her name is Magnolia Zen, and she is in the studio with me today. Hi, Magnolia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm so glad that you came today.
Thank you.
Before we start the program, though, I want to make sure everybody in listener land knows that we have a listener advisory or three for this program. So there's a listener advisory for mature situations, strong language and violence, and strong sexual content. This is an adult book. So if you have little ears nearby when you're listening to this episode, please preview it before you let the little ones listen, just to make sure that it passes your standards for young ones. Okay, let's get into this. Tell
Okay.
me about how you got into your writing career, Magnolia. What got you started in deciding to write a book?
Well, I have always been an avid reader of romance. My grandmother started me reading historical romances, mostly by Beatrice Smalls and Judith McNaught. Those were my favorites when I was growing up, all the way into adulthood. But I wanted to write. In college, I used to write short stories. But then reality said, will you be good enough to support, your growing family?
That's not reality. That's imposter syndrome. We all know what that is.
So I decided, you know what? I also like math. So in my real life, I am a self-employed accountant.
Holy
And
moly.
yes, so
Okay.
then all my kids grew up, and I'm like, you know what? I think I have a little bit more freedom. And then we had a life-altering pandemic, and I had a bunch of free time. And out came a Jaidan prophecy, which ended up being 265,000 words,
It's a lot of words.
all
How long did
unorganized,
it take you to write 265,000 words?
less than 4 months.
Okay, that's nuts. Did you
It
sleep
just
during that time at all?
No, she just talked to me constantly. She has been there like my whole life, and I just never listened. Every time I would start, I couldn't figure out why, how, what, and I would just push it. But during that time, I had nothing to get in the way of me just sitting, and I just got into a Word document, and it just kept coming out. I couldn't
So
stop it.
the voice just got so obnoxious you could ignore it no longer.
Yes, and out she came.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yes.
The title of your book is The Alpha's Potential Mate, and it is book one in the Jaidan's Prophecy duology. Tell me about the overarching story here. What is this duology about?
So Jaidan is prophesied to be the very first alpha female to be the ruler of all wolves. The hitch is,
So she's a shapeshifter then.
yes,
Okay.
she in her world she changes into a wolf.
Okay.
Every so 500 years a ruler is born, and she is prophesied. And we find out in this book that there have been females in the past, but they have never lived long enough to wear the crown. It's always only been an alpha male to take that position. So her grandmother, who is the prophet, decides to maneuver things to help make sure that her granddaughter actually wears the crown. But then she doesn't live long enough to make sure that happens. And so Jaden decides, you know what? I'm going to travel. There's 3 regional packs in this world. And she decides, I'm going to travel incognito to each of these 3 packs to let the regional alphas get to know me. I can get a feel from them, because by the time she gets to Haven, which is when she would take the crown at 25, because in my world, that's when you can also find your fated mates, they'll
Okay.
already know of her, and maybe they won't be so against her being the ruler. Along the
Got it.
way, someone's trying to unalive her. But we have no idea, do they know her secret or why? So every book I write will have a hint of a mystery in it, a whodunit. So far, no one has figured it out until I
That's
tell
fun.
them in Big Two. So I have challenged readers when they come to my booth when I'm at my author events. If you figure it out, if you email me, I will tell you if you guessed it. I went to my first author signing event. I had 37 people email me. They still didn't guess it.
Okay,
I
that's
have
super fun. I love books that have little puzzles embedded
Yes.
in them. That's
So
fantastic.
even though it's a romance, because I love romance at a heart, there is a bit of a mystery. Also, along the way, she may encounter her potential mate, which is why it's the alpha's potential mate. One of the three. We won't find out in book one which one it is, but
Well, no, we don't want to give it away before the second half of the story. That would be silly.
yes. So that's what it is. So she is on this path.
Fantastic.
And
All
she has
right.
the people who were on the island. She was on a secluded island, who have been preparing her to be the ruler to assist her. But
Awesome.
she finds friends and makes family on the
Of
way.
course. Yeah. She's got to have little side quests along the way.
Yes.
Because
Mm-hmm.
what's life without a side quest? Right.
Yes.
All
And a
right.
little danger. And a little danger.
Well, yeah. All
Mm-hmm.
right. I am super excited to hear this story. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be really fun. I love different books, and this sounds very unique and very special. So I'm looking forward to it. So, when you are ready, Magnolia Zen, please take the microphone and read aloud from the Alpha's potential mate.
Okay. I'm going to do what you asked me to do, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So this is going to start at a scene that I think will give the reader a bit of her personality. Okay, so I want to start by saying I know this computer summit is a farce. They both look at me and then look at each other. The only way you would know that, Beta Scott, is if you also know why it's a farce. You're correct, Beta Jameson. I know exactly why it's a farce. What? Why the hell have you hacked into my corporate and personal accounts? What have I ever done to you? Says Alpha Tony. This is obviously coming from him. Tony, calm down. No, no, absolutely not. And you can call me Alpha Matthews. But you said I could call you Tony. Yes, I did. That was when I thought we were going to be friends. But now I'm not so sure. Jameson. Oh, now I'm Jameson. What are you talking about? You always call me Beta Jameson. I say you can call me Jameson, but you say no, I will not. Jameson, I will call you whatever the hell I want to call you. I'm surprised he's responding this way to my statement. So I try to explain myself. Alpha Tony, I mean Alpha Matthews. He then rises and begins pacing back and forth behind his desk, ranting. I can't believe I thought you were beautiful and funny. I even agreed with my mother you might even be lunar potential material. I was going to take you for a ride on baby. Now I don't even want you at my pack. What the hell was Jared talking about? How you're sweet, you taste like strawberries, and you smell so good. He must be delirious. I want you out of my sight this moment. I stay quiet, letting him rant, taking note he's been discussing me with Jared, and that's something I'm going to take up with him. Alpha Matthews, no, I don't care what you have to say. I want you out of my accounts this moment. You're not sweet, you're not funny, you're sneaky, you're probably greedy and planned on stealing my money. So what you smell like strawberries on a summer day? So what your skin looks soft, so soft. I want to touch you every time I see you. Why are you still sitting there? Jameson, why are you sitting there so damn calm? Aren't you the one who set up this whole summit to catch this hacker? To catch this person who can ruin us? Why are you sitting there quietly, not saying a word? Well, Alpha, what would you like me to say? I don't know, but say something. Okay, Beta Scott, can you explain to me why you hacked into our corporate accounts and put a key on it? Also into Alpha Matthews' personal accounts and put a key on them? Not even I could get past them. And explain why you never stole a dime, never crashed it, never locked us out, and from what I can tell, kept everyone else from doing so as well. Why, thank you, Alpha. Thank you for asking, Beta Jameson. Let me start from the beginning. I spend the next hour or so explaining to them how I came across the accounts online, how I started out on my hacking career, leaving out the part of me being the ruler, and how I've actually been the one ensuring the assets have grown to the amounts they have. I stand up so I can look pointedly at Alpha Matthews, who by this time looked like he wants to swallow himself whole, and say, "You're welcome, by the way." Then I sit back down. After about 10 minutes of silence from the room, Alpha Matthews stands, walks around to me, drops to his knees, his soulful dark eyes looking in mine, and says quietly, "Please forgive me, Beta Scott. I was just so angry when I first heard what you said. I let my alpha blood get the best of me. I'm very sorry. Tell me what I can do to make it up to you. I take it all back. You're very special and you're very beautiful. Everything I said, I take back. Whatever you want, you can have. All you have to do is ask for it. Anything. Just ask. Please forgive me, Jay." "Whatever I want, Alpha Matthews?" "Yes, you just have to ask." "Okay," I think for a moment, standing up, pushing past him. I look down at him, still kneeling near the seat. "I want baby." He looks at me a little confused. He says, "What?" "You heard me, Alpha Matthews. I want baby." He stands up, adjusting his clothing, walking around to the front of his desk, takes his seat, not looking at me. I look over at Beta Jameson, and she's looking at me with shock on her face. "You recall Alpha Matthews just said I could have anything. All I have to do is ask. Well, I asked. I want baby." "Beta J, do you even know who you're asking me for?" "Yes, I do. I'm asking for baby." "Yes, I know, but I mean, do you know?" "Wait, Alpha Matthews. You can call me Tony." "Oh, I'm allowed to call you Tony again?" "Yes, yes, you can." "Okay, Alpha Tony. Don't you mean what?" "What are you talking about, Beta Scott?" "Well, you're about to say who baby is. Don't you mean what baby is?" "You know what baby is, Beta Scott?" "Of course I do. She's your all black Indian chief dark horse motorcycle that you custom built yourself. In that, if that's the case, then you know she's made up from the original parts from the very first chief made off the assembly line over 100 years ago. You know it took me over. I interrupt him, shaking my hands in the air. "I know, Alpha Tony, 12 years to acquire those parts to build her to spec. And knowing that you want to take her from me, Beta Scott?" "Well, now that I think more about it, yes, Tony. Yes, I do. You said I could have anything, and I have been watching pictures and videos of you riding her for quite some time. Since she's an original, I can't very well purchase one for myself now, can I? I would like her, and you did say anything." "But Beta Scott, I obviously didn't mean her." "But you didn't say anything but baby. You said anything." "She's correct, Alpha. Beta Jameson, please stay out of this." "Okay, Alpha Anthony, so we're back to calling me that name again." "Yes, we are." "Yes, Alpha. Whose side are you on, Beta Jameson?" "I'm on the side of truth, always. And you did say anything, and you did not over, and you did kind of overreact. Said all kinds of awful things about Beta Scott. You wouldn't even give her a chance to explain, which she specifically brought us here to do. If you recall, she started the conversation with, 'I know why this summit is a farce.' And considering we both know why the summit is a farce, she was going to tell us what we wanted to know. Which, if you recall, is the whole damn reason we're having this summit." "Okay, okay, okay, Beta Jameson, calm down." I can see from Tony's face he's thinking about his baby right before he says, "So back to baby. Yes, my baby. Well, she will soon be my baby, right? I guess if I want to keep my word, yes, you're right. She will be your baby, Betty J." "Great." I jump up and down, shaking my ass, pumping my arms, doing a very happy dance. I look over at Tiny Tony, and he looks like he just lost his best friend. I think maybe I should save the happy dance for another time. Just as I move to take my seat, someone knocks at the door. Beta Jameson gets up, opening it, and a lot of good smelling food starts my stomach to growling. I forgot I was hungry until the food arrives. It's piled on the coffee table, and we're moving to sit to start digging in. There's a variety, but I opt for burgers and fries, and boy, is it delicious. I grab a bottle of water and start explaining to Beta Jameson how I want her to join my team of just me right now. I give her the details I can on my security company and how I don't have the time currently to manage it all. Since she's the only hacker that's ever gotten close enough to even notice me, she gets the job if she wants it. That's it.
Wow. Okay, there's a lot more coming next. I can already see it. Well
Yeah.
done. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, so this is your debut novel.
Yes.
The second book in the duology is out already or will be coming out?
It is out. It
Out
is
already.
the
Okay.
Alpha Queen's Mate.
Awesome.
And yes, it is out.
Okay, so we have two that we can find for you.
Yes.
Are you willing to come back on another time and read from the second book for me?
I absolutely am.
That would be great. Okay. Now that the duology is finished and it's out, what comes next? Are you writing a new series? Are you writing spin-off novels? What are you going to do next?
I am writing separate standalones in the same world. So, my
Okay.
next book that is coming out is called Destiny Be Damned.
Okay.
And she is my dragon shifter
Ooh,
romance.
dragons.
Yes, and she releases March 10th. She is available for pre-order. And you will get updates in her book on things that's happening with Alpha Jaidan. And you will get characters from each book will move to the next book. So then each book will have its own main female characters, but their second characters may come from previous books. So you will meet Alpha Edmund in Jaiden's story, and you will hopefully fall in love with him and continue that love in Destiny's story. And then you will meet, you won't find this out, but you will meet characters in my next following book, which is my vampire historical romance, that's coming out in October. You will meet her in Destiny's book before she gets her book. So that's how they will
Fun.
go.
Nice. I like how you're dovetailing characters
Mm-hmm.
so that they all get the spotlight
Yes.
at one
Mm-hmm.
time or another, but you're staying in the same world. So that's very, very
Yes.
cool.
Yes. Same world.
Um, do you have any ideas about leaving this world and maybe doing something in a different genre? Is that an option, or are you just really madly in love with this?
I I'm madly in love with this, but I am a pantser.
Ugh, you
And
evil people. Evil people.
oh my God, they talked to me. When I was writing Jaidan, I kept going, I feel like I may be a one-hit wonder with this book. And before I even finished her, Destiny was like, oh no, I'm coming and I want your attention. And
Yeah.
then Victoria started coming. And then Ivy. Ivy Sin is my witch who's coming early spring of 2027. So because I'm a pantser, a lot of times, like I will have the end of the story before I have the beginning. A lot of times
Uh-huh.
I will know the character before and have the book cover before I've even finished the book. So you will see my writing app has empty chapters in the middle and then completed chapters in the beginning and in the end. Nothing comes in me in order. And I was stressed out because I was like, I've got to finish Destiny because I wanted to do where books come out every spring and every fall, and I
Okay.
wasn't getting anything. And then all of a sudden, she just piled on, and
Yeah.
now Victoria is piling on.
Isn't
So
it interesting? The minute we let the voices have a little bit of the spotlight, they just don't shut up.
they
And
do
they
not.
just keep coming and coming and coming and
Yes,
coming.
and you know what? And the accountant in me is all about organization and order. And so I sit down and I try to outline something and I'll tell myself, this is what I want to put in there. And then I will write a scene that didn't come from me in a dream or just when I was walking down the street or in the store. And then these heifers will come back and be like, no, we don't like that. You should have wrote it like this. This is the scene you should have wrote. So what I
That's funny.
started doing is trying to trick them, and I'll start writing a scene and see how they feel about it to get to like nudge them to like come on and start talking, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm a passionate plotter.
I
Uh,
wish I
I
could.
I love my outlines. They give me great safety and security.
Oh,
I love to fill the holes in between the plot points and
I'm
just
so
end on
jealous.
things. I was at my
Once,
writing group Monday night, and I was able to take little tiny notes that I'd written in a particular plot point and then expand them. And by the end of 2 hours, I had 2,500 words written. So I love the outline because it gives me that flexibility. But
uh,
I've discovered pantsers don't feel the need for order. They just do it however they do it. And,
yes.
and I
But you
don't
know what?
understand it, but I think it's cool that we all get to do this in a different way.
I have found that once they finish talking and they tell me they're finished, then I have the freedom to go back and say, well, you didn't clear this up enough for me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm able to build on it, give it a little bit more depth, make it feel a little bit more
Excellent.
alive. So I like that part of it. And I tell them, well, now I get to kind of edit what you gave me to
Right.
make it make more sense because I don't like I want to make sure everything, all the questions are answered. I don't want people walking away having questions besides, I want to know more, but I don't want them questioning something I said in the beginning that
Sure.
I never
You don't want
answered.
any holes missing.
Right,
Right.
right. Because they
I
don't fill in all the holes all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I have a friend who writes mysteries, and he says he's a pantser as well, and he says he simply watches the characters do their thing and he writes up the incident report.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And and it's funny how I will write a character not even understanding the purpose of this character. And
mm,
then I will go to another book and be like, "Oh, this makes sense now why this scene came to me and I wrote it." So I have a whole separate book and I use Atticus and I have one and it's just, and I just named it unknown characters because things will come to me and I have no idea what they're for. And
yep.
so I drop them in there and whatever came to me, I put in there until later on when I say, oh, that's what that came from. And it's so funny. I had a character and I put her in Jaidan's book and she took on a whole life of her own. She's now in a novella. And my beta readers were like, we love Sarah. What about Sarah? And I'm like, she was a filler character.
That's fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that this is going well for you. I'm so happy for you that you get to
Thank you, thank
pursue
you,
your
thank you.
joy and you get to pursue your passion. I think it's an awesome thing. We will look forward to having you back on the program again to read the second book in this series.
Yes,
And then
thank
I hope you'll continue to come back every time you publish a new book.
I will. I will. I love it. I can
Awesome.
talk about books
I
all
know.
day.
It's crazy, isn't it? Thank you so much for your time. I
Thank you for
appreciate you.
having me, Diana. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.